Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Security Talks show. And today we have our special guest, Asha Kurian. We'll be talking a lot about her journey, about her background, about her interest, and so on. So Asha is currently working as a associate cybersecurity consultant at ComCity Business Solutions, which is a New York-based company. And I welcome you, Asha, to this episode
Yeah, thank you.
on behalf of the team. I hope there's a lot to learn from your journey.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
yeah, so Asha, can you just give a description about yourself, like where you come from, about your qualification, about your experience, like past experience that you have?
Okay, as hi everyone. As Robin introduced, my name is Asha, and I am currently working as associate cybersecurity consultant at ComCity Business Solutions. Currently, my company is located at New York, and currently I'm working remote. And my location is at Kochi in Kerala. And telling about my background, I'm a PG graduate, that is MTech graduate MTech graduate in cybersecurity. And before that, well, that means before my PG, I was working as an application developer at Ernst and Young. And later only, that means for the past 3 to 4 months, I am working for the ComCity Business Solutions.
Yes,
So
thank
that's
you,
all
thank
about
you.
my journey.
Thank you, Asha. So you have worked with EY in
Yeah,
from 2007 to 2013 as an associate, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then you have worked as an assistant professor from
Mm,
2015 to 2016, and you have worked as a faculty at a school from 2017 to 21,
yeah,
right? So you have a very different experience from
yeah,
EY to a college to a school,
yeah,
and now you heard here you are at this company where you are an security consultant. So
yeah.
how did it start? Like, because you come from a very, I mean, you have a MTech degree, of course, but considering your professional experience that you have, how did you got to know about this cyber security as a career, and how who introduced to you about it? Can you just start from there?
Yeah, see, I was a BTech graduate. That means after completing my BTech, that was in information security, I got the campus placement from the college itself. And then my first organization was EY. And there I worked as an application developer for around 6 years. So the period of 6 years, you can understand. By that time, we have faced almost all the challenges. And later, during my tenure in that company, I have seen the different other teams like SOC teams or the QA teams who are doing security testing and all. So I was aware about those teams and their working, and I had friends in that team. And so those, or I have to say, they actually impressed me or motivated me to that team. But at that time, I was not aware how to switch to that team and all. And I didn't have a PG at that time. So my interest was to move to that cybersecurity area. With that intention, I quit the job and did my master's that in data security. And after my master's, everything was not in a favorable situation. I had three kids, so you can understand how to take care of
Yeah.
them. So my maternal responsibilities forced me to quit that career. So that was the reason
Mm.
why I moved to the teaching profession. So initially, I worked as an assistant professor in a college. Later, due to another personal reason, I couldn't continue all the. That's only because of the medical reason for my kid. And after that, I worked as a computer science faculty in a school that for around 4 years. And later I realized that in those times or in my earlier times and all, the companies were not encouraging work from home
Mm.
facilities. So I
Mm.
couldn't go back to the industry. So that was another reason also. Later, I identified that these days most of the companies are providing work from home, and
Yeah.
if something is urgent, then we have to go to office. That is the working model. Almost all the organizations are adopting these days. So
Yeah.
with that in mind,
Yeah.
I thought, why can't I switch to my like IT career itself? But
Mm.
when I thought of that, moving back to an application development area, that was not possible for me. The thing is that you all know that there is a
So you were a
that
developer in EY, is
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Okay.
application
Okay.
developer. So
Okay.
the challenges, not the challenges, you have to understand the technologies. Technology, one day that this one is the boom, and next day new technology will come. That is a situation
Mm.
about technology. So we have to
Mm.
keep updating ourselves all the time. Okay, so
Yeah.
maintaining a work-life balance that won't be possible by staying in that profession. So I thought of like I want to maintain my family, and at the same time I want to pursue my career. That was my
Mm.
intention. So rather than simply
Right.
moving to the application development, I thought like I did a small research. I have to say like that. I did a small research from my end
Mm.
itself. Why can't I move to the cybersecurity area? Already I
Yeah.
had taken the PG in cybersecurity. So with
Mm.
that, I can directly move to, or can start as a fresher in cybersecurity. That was my belief at that
Yes.
time. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
And later, I directly applied for the cybersecurity jobs and all. So at that time,
Mm.
I used to get calls, but later only they realized that I didn't have any practical experience in this particular area, that is mainly into
Mm.
cybersecurity. So
Mm.
I didn't get any interview calls that time. So I made some calls with some of my friends. So one of my friend, she pointed out that why can't you go for an internship? Okay, then you will get some practical knowledge, and with
Yeah.
that knowledge,
Yeah.
you can apply for the job. So
Mm.
with that idea, I thought of finding some companies who are
Mm.
giving internships in cybersecurity area, and
Yeah.
finally, I ended up with CyberSapiens. Okay. Once I got connected to Robin, okay, I used to talk a lot with him. Used to discuss many things. How can I able to? But see, by that time itself, I realized that there are mainly two areas in cybersecurity. One is the technical side as well as the
Yeah.
compliance side. That I acquired from my research itself. So when
Mm.
I approached Robin, actually I discussed these things. Like I want a career in compliance side, not in technical side. Okay. The only reason is that see, I am interested in technical area, but I told you, I have to maintain my work-life balance. I have to look after
Mm.
my
Mm.
three kids, and I'm staying with my in-laws. So my
Mm.
father-in-law is bedridden for the past 4 to 5 years. So I have to take care of
Okay.
him. So many things I have to manage, and at the same time I have to pursue my career. So with that
Mm.
intention, I discussed these things with Robin, and at that time, he told me you can start the career. Sorry, you can start the internship, and in that you will be getting the opportunity or exposure in both the complaints as well as the technical side. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, and after completing 2 months of internship, see, you all are you are currently doing the internship in CyberSapiens. So maybe you are all familiar with the vulnerabilities, those kind of things. So I was also used to those things, and I also did the task which they have assigned to me. But I didn't get time to do further research. That you can understand. Like when we are introduced to one
Mm.
vulnerability, then you can do it, or you can understand what it is, and you can do the task or assignments. You can do it that also in the next day. But if you
Yeah.
didn't do the further research or further what to say exploration in that, then you will
Mm.
not get
Mm.
much from that. what
Correct.
it is, you will have that answer, but
Yes.
you will not get that practical experience if you didn't do that further research. So I
Yeah.
didn't get that time to do that research, but I understood what is this. I know it.
Mm.
And for
Mm.
how you can able to find it, I know it, but sometimes it may take some if you can able to find it in 1 hour, I may take sometimes 2 to 3 days. So
Mm.
that was
Mm.
my situation at that time. And after completing 2 to 3 months, I again disturbed Robin, saying that my intention is not to technical side. I want to move to compliance side. So I got the exposure in working with some other compliance projects also. And with that experience, I thought of applying to the jobs. And initially, I applied for few jobs. And later, why should I not apply to many jobs? Like he also, like
Yeah.
Robin also, like told me apply for as many jobs as possible. So I started applying for jobs, and I finally I cracked this interview.
Yes. So you have just completely told all your entire journey as how
Yeah.
you started, where you went through, and where you are now, right?
Yeah.
So it looked like, I mean, of course, you had an experience, so that was an advantage for you.
Mhm.
But again, with the change in the in your job, from the IT to the college, the lecturer thing that you had taken up, somewhere that was a constraint for you in terms of getting a job clearly, right? So you knew about cybersecurity when you were a developer.
Mhm.
So I think since then you started interest in the cybersecurity, but you had your personal things. Okay, let's talk about more about the problems that you have faced, because people watching this are basically beginners. They are basically like how you were, 7 8 months back, right?
Mhm.
So they also need to understand now what challenges others face. So particularly to you, what were the major challenges that you faced, and how you were able to overcome those?
Yeah, one thing is, you will see. In my from my position, if tell about my challenges, obviously you need a good support from your family. Otherwise, nothing will work out. That is one
Yeah.
important thing that you have to, like, even if your family members are not supporting, you have to convince them, like, this is the thing and we have to work like this. Those kind of things, you have to sit with your family members and you have to convince them. Then another thing is you have to think about, like, how we can able to proceed. See, rather than simply hearing from one or two persons, just do a small research. Okay, like how we can able to achieve this goal, or you should have, first of all, you should have a vision. Then only we can able to
Yeah.
achieve that. With that
Mm,
vision, you
yeah.
have to do a research, like what all are the different areas or what all are the various ways by which I can able to reach to that career. See, I told you, I identified these two ways, like technical, there is a technical area as well as a compliance area. And when I connected to Robin, what he told is, from where you identified that there are two areas in cybersecurity. He asked me that question initially
Yeah.
itself. So I know, like, I did a small research. It was not from,
Yes.
it can be from the social media, it can be from the YouTube, or it can be
Mm,
from your friends, wherever it is. You have to do that research.
yeah.
Try
Yeah.
to connect with maximum number of people whom you know, like, and get the information. Later, you analyze all those things and identify your career path. Okay, it is not that difficult, but only thing is that you should be guided in a proper way. And
Correct.
one thing I have to tell, like, still now also, like, if I have something or some confusion in my mind related to my professional career, obviously I'll make a call to him. Every time I used to disturb Robin for, like, what is this, what we can do for this, that, and at least I know that very well. So you are also, like, what to say, affording me in that way. But I'm really thankful to Robin for supporting me and guiding me in my career path. And like, don't worry about your obstacles, or don't consider it as an obstacle. So if you are ready to take your desire to move forward, then obviously you will find your way. So
Yes.
then it should be like, it's our passion and it's our dream and our willingness. There is no word called challenge. Okay, we have to remove that word. Okay, only thing is that how we approach the things, that is really important. That is what I believe.
Yeah, and I think even I'm not sure how it really applies, but a lot of women and girls who think about cybersecurity. Some people think that when I talk, some people think that no, this is not for this is not for women. It's like a gender specific, like a male thing. But yes, definitely, that's a wrong thing, and we have seen a lot of women coming up, like women in cybersecurity initiatives have been started
Yeah.
by a lot of companies and all. So, I mean, how do you, what are your thoughts on this, and how would you, can you just encourage the women who are watching this, from the career standpoint and from the work culture as well, from the work standpoint? Can you just share your thoughts and help them with this?
See, it's not like a gender specific role. I don't think like that. See, in
No,
my
not at all.
my organization also, people are working like, I know one of my colleague, she's currently working as well as doing her masters in Germany and working as a cybersecurity consultant. So altogether, like, it's possible for women as well as for men. The only thing is that
Mm.
we have to like and go through the proper path. Proper path means we have to identify what exactly we should have to learn. If we are moving to the technical side, then you have to make a structure how I have to proceed, or how or identify what all are the various things I have to learn or I have to master to get success in my career. So that is the only difference. Other than that, the gender specific, it is not at all
Yes.
a gender specific role. You don't have to think about in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, a few people have that feeling, कि, okay, this, ethical hacking means like only guys can do it and all of that. But that's something which is definitely not true. We have a lot of requirement. Companies are encouraging for women in cybersecurity and also, if you are someone who thinks like that, then it's completely wrong. Please change that thought, and you can also be into this career, right? So. Coming back, you've had researched about technical and the compliance, those two sides of cybersecurity. So, what interested you to choose compliance? I mean, when I say interested, what was that core thing that you liked about compliance? Okay, this is the reason why I would choose compliance. Like, what was that?
Initially, my situations only forced me to select compliance side. Okay. Later, I identified few interest areas also in the compliance side. The compliance, one thing is, will not be like the updates will be not that frequent. Okay, in the
Hmm.
compliance
Hmm.
side. Sometimes, for example, if some policy is in place, then the amendments or everything will happen only after a few years of time. Okay, so you
Hmm.
can,
Hmm.
if you have the right knowledge, or if you gain that right knowledge, you can continue with that for at least 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you think about the VAPT or the technical side, they see, so today we'll get one vulnerability, and the technology you have to use for identifying that or resolving that may be different for other vulnerability
Hmm.
which is coming
Hmm.
tomorrow.
Hmm.
So all the time you have to update yourself. That is something a bit challenging for women. The thing is that
Correct.
according to Indian culture, women are responsible for taking care of the kids as well as looking after the
Family.
family.
Yeah.
That may be one reason why people consider that this is something for the male rather than for women. That is what I
Hmm.
believe.
Hmm.
But if you are skilled in doing the technical activity, and if you are having enough time to invest in this particular technical area, then it is not at all a matter. You can do it. It's up to you whether like to
Yeah.
identify your passion. And in the
Yeah.
compliance side, like these days I'm exposed to the clients also. Like I'll be getting
Mm.
opportunities to meet the clients and tell them about the importance of cyber security or implementing
Yeah.
security in the organizations. And my roles include also security trainings, as well as
Mm.
the phishing exercises for the clients as well as to the ComCity employees. So all those things
Mm-hmm.
really inspired me. Actually, it is something like we are talking to them and we are
Correct.
like guiding them, like this is the way you have to do it, you have to complete this training. Those kind of things we are communicating to the people. So that is
Mm.
something, it is not purely a technical kind of thing we are communicating only with the machine, rather we are talking to the people also. That means some
Yeah.
kind of social interaction is also coming here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another thing is, like we'll get the opportunity to be a part of the security audit, or after
Mm.
a few
Mm.
years of time, again, we will be responsible
Mm.
for doing the security audit, and we have
Correct.
to take up the decision. That is something, some another, it is not like this one is good and the other one is bad.
Mm.
It's not
Mm.
like
Mm.
that. Rather, if your interest area is something like this, then you can choose this. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to correct, it's not that we are saying that VAPT is, like a negative thing and compliance is positive. So it's all an individual choice here, right? Even in compliance, you have to be having the knowledge of the technical side, right? It's not that you just learn about the compliance will not help. You need to be aware of the technical side, like maybe the working of firewall, the VAPT, the vulnerabilities and all. But it's just that you would not be responsible of getting your hands dirty with the technical. But knowledge wise, I think you need to have the understanding, you need to have the knowledge. That is very, very important. Okay. So yes, I mean that was your decision of choosing compliance, which which has your personal requirements too, right? So how do you find it now? Now that you, I mean, I know we were talking about it, and you wanted to get, I mean, getting a job, of course, was a primary requirement for you, but you wanted to get into the compliance itself, right? More than
Yeah.
because job satisfaction is also very important. So you wanted to get into the compliance side, and now you are in the compliance profile. So how do you feel now? Like, what's your work type? What are your responsibilities? How do you keep yourself, active throughout? Can you just provide some information on that?
Yeah, like my even though my company is not a big company right now, it's not an MNC. Still, we are getting opportunities in doing another see other ways. Like we will be getting the option to go for certifications, or some they are encouraging us to do like that. Okay, that means
Hmm.
we are flexible to go for certifications, and they will be
Hmm. Hmm.
we
Hmm.
will get that reimbursement for that. Those kind of things they will do for us. So that
Hmm.
is
Hmm. Hmm.
one way. And another way is like we can these days my roles are include, I already told you, I can or I got the opportunity to work with the clients, like taking
Yeah.
security trainings, as well as doing the phishing exercises, or reminding them about the security training completion, those kind of
Hmm.
things. And another half was mostly about the that the pure consultant work. That is
Hmm.
how we
Hmm.
can able to draft the policies for them, or make discussions with them to create or finalize the policies, security policies for them. Those kind of things are the other responsibilities. So mainly I'm working in with these, that security training, switching exercise, those kind of things, as well as with the other part, that means the consultant part. Then Robin said you one thing, that is, if you want to do the consulting part, then you should have some sound knowledge about the technical. If you take an example, if you are asked to create a policy for an organization, say for some one policy, whatever it may be, and you have given a network diagram, their network diagram.
Hmm.
So out from that, if you want to identify something, or if you want to say figure out this is what is happening in that
Yeah.
organization, how
Yeah.
you can able to figure it out without the
Yeah.
knowledge of a technical knowledge,
Exactly.
you can't able to do anything. Okay,
Exactly.
otherwise, if they are telling that, if we are asking for an evidence in an audit, and if
Yeah.
they are forwarding you the firewall
Yeah.
information, and
Yeah.
by looking into that information, how can you able to understand that they are following this policy? So
Exactly.
that you will not understand if you don't have that sound technical knowledge. So to move to this consulting area also, you should have that sound technical
Correct.
knowledge, and that will really help you in your career path.
Correct. So you do fishing activity, you provide training, and you draft, you work with your internal team drafting policies for your clients. And I think you've also helped them comply with the standards and regulations, right?
Yeah, for HIPAA and
So
I worked.
yeah, so which standards and regulations do you work on? HIPAA?
I worked on HIPAA. Then it's not purely ISO, but we have
Mm-hmm.
like included most of the controls in ISO, but we have to select it's not purely ISO. So,
Okay.
but when I talk to you, I can say ISO and
It's
HIPAA
ISO.
basically.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
ISO and HIPAA, that's what you
Then,
worked on.
then it's on Fedline also. Fedline,
Mm-hmm.
that is
The
on
federal
something.
government regulation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
three which I have worked.
Okay. Okay. So, coming back again to your selection process. So, uh, how did you get this interview call? Where you were applying? What all you were doing to get a job? So basically, that's what our viewers want to know. What are
Mhm.
the ways that you were trying to get a job? Which are the applications or portals that you were applying for jobs?
Mhm.
What methods you are following, how much effort you have put. Okay,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
people think that okay, getting a job is easy, but they don't know the effort that is required. Some people just do it for 1 week and then they don't get any result, they quit there, right?
Mhm.
So can
Mhm.
you because I know about your journey very well, but if you can just tell the viewers about how and what efforts and how much of efforts you're putting, what all challenges you have faced there, and how
Mhm.
did you get connected with this company? You know?
Okay. See, for that, again, I have to say something else also. Initially, after completing the 2 to 3 months with CyberSapiens, I also started applying for jobs like others. And
Mm.
you all get like you also got the information about how to submit the details in LinkedIn, those kind of things. Or I think you also got the instruction. The same way I also did, and I started applying jobs in LinkedIn with my old
Okay.
resume. Then what happened is I got many calls, but considering my 6 years of experience, or everybody considers my 6 years of experience as my experience in cybersecurity, and I got many calls. And at that time, they realized that it is not my experience is not in cybersecurity, rather in only in application development. So
Yes.
with that in mind, they told like they will discuss with their HR team and will get back to you. Likewise,
We'll
I
get
got
back.
the information. And so likewise it went for around 1 week, and later I again approached Robin and said like this is I'm getting either sometimes I used to get calls from calls like this, or my calls where most of the calls were from the application development side. Okay,
Mm.
anyway, it was not the area which I am looking for. So Robin said to update my resume accordingly. That means I'm not sure in which month you people are in. Towards the end of your
Yeah.
internship, you also will get the instructions like how to update your resume and all. So with that, I updated the resume accordingly and uploaded in most of the job sites. Okay,
Yeah.
and later what happened is I got the calls, but the same thing happened. The other thing, that means I got the calls from cybersecurity, but the application development calls I didn't get. And
Mhm.
they told like we are not looking for freshers, this, that, and all. So again, I started disturbing Robin like this is the situation, what to do, and all. And at that time, I got one answer during my one call with Robin. He told like everything will happen in its time, so don't worry. Likewise, he told. So I also waited for my call or my turn. Okay. And few weeks passed, I have to say. So you have to be patient in applying for jobs.
You kept trying, right? You kept
Yeah,
applying.
yeah, we have to keep applying. Otherwise, if you were rejected by one or two companies, don't give up. Okay, your chance or your turn will come. So we have to be confident in that. And later, I attended many interviews. So I think I have attended 4 to 5 interviews, and
Mhm.
one thing, one for one company, I completed 2 rounds, and later I got rejected. And for this one, I like there were 4 rounds, and the initial one anyway only a small discussion round, and the second round was the technical, not technical, actually the actual content testing round. Okay, so
Mhm.
since this is of to compliance, I actually want this job. Okay, the previous interviews I had attended were not from compliance. It was from cybersecurity area, but were too technical. See, I didn't look for technical or compliance while applying my for my jobs.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
applied
yeah.
to all that
Yes,
areas, but
yes.
this is the one which I got from compliance. So I really want this job. So the day before my interview, I approached Robin as well as Bakesh. Bakesh was my mentor in the
Yeah, for the
compliance in
compliance.
in CyberSapiens. Okay, and he actually dedicated some 2 to 3 hours for me or phone in discussing the things. So while making the call, don't simply make a call and say, I have the interview and I need the so what to say. It should not be like that. You will have to do your research. Okay, I prepared a set of questions and I asked, if this person comes, then what should be the answer. Likewise, I discussed, and obviously you know that during the time of internship you will not get exposure to all the various
Mm.
different areas. And but while attending the interview, you have to say like you have did this, that, and all, and you have to
Yeah,
market yourself. That is something you
yeah,
have to do
exactly.
during
Very good.
your
Yes,
during the interview. So to
yes,
do that,
yes.
I need to know what all things happen. If I take this particular topic, then I have to know about more about that topic. What all you people are doing in that area. Those kind of things you have to understand. So pick the topic, find out maximum number of questions. It should not be like theory questions. Find out the practical things, like if
Yeah.
you do like this, or when you go for this, or when you go for an audit, what will happen. This kind of things you have to think in your mind and prepare the questions and ask questions. Okay, and find out the answer. Find out the answer means the cyber sapiens, you have enough mentors helping you, so you can directly make a call and ask these questions and find out your answer and convince yourself and be ready for the interview. And somehow by God's grace, those questions which we have discussed in with Bhagesh mostly came for the interview, and I cracked the interview. I have to say like that, and
So I
it
think
really
here
helped me.
you had been working on the projects. I remember you had asked for the projects, and
Yeah.
we gave you a good number of projects, and you have done a very good job in by working on the projects, right? So you were really serious, and I think the when you worked on the projects, that gave you a lot of information, and you could convey that the same in the interview,
Okay.
right? Which related to this, I would like to ask another question, which will help our audience as well. So, how relevant are we, when I say we, like Cyber Sapiens, in terms of the curriculum that that we are delivering, and it includes the technical and the compliance with regards to the industry that is, expectation of the industry, you know for a beginner, basically for a beginners to get started. How are these things helping you? Even, is there something that helps you even now in your, day-to-day career? And what are those points that help you?
See, to move to the compliance, actually, I watched the initial videos given to me by Robin. That means the Robin's set of videos were there. So I really watched it seriously and prepared notes from my side. Okay, those were the actual technical concepts concepts and coming in compliance side. So you will get the points. The points means he in that videos, what he did is he didn't mention anything about like in detail about all the different like terms. I have to say it is not technology. Like for example, we have to say the policies or the HIPAA or what is GDPR, what is ISO.
Yeah.
He introduced those terms to you. Okay, so I also got that introduction from that video only. Later what I did is I tried exploring more with this topic names. See, if you want to do a research, then you need to understand or you need to know for or know the topic to do the research, right? Other than that, like how we can able to do the research. So those topics were introduced to you by those from those videos, and I actually picked each topic and did a research from my side. That is what I told you. If you are really interested to move to this
Mm,
complaints
mm.
area, then you have to do the individual research. And the other thing, that means the initial content or the basic foundation you will surely get from the CyberSapiens.
Yes, sure, Asha. And like any suggestions that you would like to give basically to your juniors who are listening, to the viewers who are listening, and for those who are trying to get into the cybersecurity domain, any suggestions, any advice that you would like to give?
Um, One advice is, see, during my you told like during my internship, I also got sufficient number of projects. Yeah, I got the projects. So at that time, I'll share one experience to you. During one of my project assigned to me at that time, I worked from around 10 p.m. to 3 p.m. Sorry, 3 a.m. in the night. So what caused me to work? That is during my internship only. You have to think like that, okay? And I was not paid for that. It's only for my because I did like that, okay? So what motivated me is like during the morning hours, I was not in a position to do my work at that time. Okay, so at that I informed Bhagyesh like I was not in a situation to sit. My kid was not well, so she is only 1 year old right now, so you can understand how
Yeah.
at that time she was very young. So we have to take care of her also. And Bhagyesh also stayed with me after 10 o'clock. That means by 10 p.m. to around 3 a.m. we worked. So for that, I have taken some pain. Okay. In the same way, I am not aware about your situations. You all may be in different situations.
Mm,
Likewise, if you are not in a situation to work or something like that, don't worry. If you have that desire to move
yeah,
forward,
yeah,
obviously you will find a way.
yes,
Okay, and you will surely achieve your goal also. One thing I have to say, like it should not be the hard work. You have to do the hard work, but at the same time you have to do a smart work in what to say, finding some time for your preference. Okay. See, if I
yes,
did it, if I say like, I can also say to Bakesh like, it's not possible right now. I am not in a situation, and I can ask him to leave it. Okay, that
yeah,
was also possible for me at that time, but I didn't do that. Instead, I told like I am not ready for that time, and so he was also cooperating to me at that time. That also you have to remember. And we sit by 10 p.m. and worked till 2:33 a.m. So that was the situation. So in the same way, I'm not saying like you all have to face the same thing, but if you are in some difficult situation, don't worry. You can also do your part. Only thing is that do the things in a structured way. Find some
yeah.
time for your own preferences.
Very good, Asha. I think the smart work that you said is really, really required, and that too for for people who have their personal responsibilities, they have their other liabilities. I think smart work is very much required, so that we can manage our work and ensure that the work is done somehow or the
Yeah.
other way. It is done. Maybe
Mhm.
you put on a earphone and you maybe you are listening to this by you're doing some other work maybe and you're listening to this, that could be called as a smart work. at the end you have to keep grasping, you have to keep working on that. And the second point, I think, what you mentioned is about researching is very, very important. As we also always tell, keep researching, keep learning, right? And I think, Asha, you have taken up that very well. That has helped you. And otherwise, also, if I look at your journey, Asha, because even now the viewers here also have understood how difficult was it for you from your personal life standpoint, how much of hard work and efforts you had to put here, right? So but still you've managed to do all the work even after so many difficulties, so much of work, so much of personal responsibilities that you had, because you knew your goal very well, and then you didn't give up, right? So for all the viewers, if Asha, being with such a background, is able to was able to get a job and crack it for her, and I mean, look at her now, how happy she is, right? It's because of the all hard work that she has put, and I would want you guys also to put in the same hard work. Don't look at your challenges, don't look at your problems, just keep working, just keep working, and we are always there here to help you out, right? So any questions I would anybody would want to ask Asha? We have a few people joined us online, so anybody wants to ask anything, get some clarification, you can please go ahead, unmute yourself and you can ask. All right. Doesn't look like they have a questions. I really enjoyed this, Asha, talking to you. It was so inspiring for me, and I really feel somewhere proud, of being connected with you. I feel really happy. We all feel happy, your mentors, we all the team, we all feel happy when we see people really doing so well in their career, looking at the hard work that you guys have put up, and the success that you have got now. Of course, there's a long journey to go, and so where do you want to reach, Asha? Like, before we conclude our final question, what's your end goal now that you are in security? What do you want to be in? What position? What role?
See, even though I had some years of experience, right now I'm only a beginner in the cybersecurity area. So I have to learn more, and I have to go a lot. Okay, so
Hmm.
uh, say after say 10 or 15 years down the line, I would also like to be in the position of a CISO of a company, or it can be a some like audit. It can be a security auditor or a CISO.
Yeah.
Mostly, I would prefer to be a CISO.
All right, perfect. So I know you would become a CISO someday. Definitely, you are a hard worker, and you will get the success. So no worries. And yeah, before we end this call, any final things that you want to share, you want to
One
tell?
thing is like you asked the audience about questions. So this is something which I noticed in all the calls, not only here in during my internship period
Hmm.
also. I have seen nobody asking questions. Okay, so
Hmm.
don't be like that. If you have something in your mind, open up and ask questions. Through that only you will learn. Okay,
Yes.
sometimes your mentors may not be asking you all the time, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Okay, don't wait for them to ask. Okay, if you
Uh,
have something in your mind, or if you want to clarify something, you should have to ask. Okay, not only if you
and
are.
can you just connect, sorry, Asha, can you just connect that with your professional thing? This that because how it works professionally, and how asking question here and not asking will be a
Yeah,
problem for you professionally.
suppose if you are working for a client, okay, the client told you to do something, and if you are not clear with that, and if you didn't ask or clarification for that, what will happen? The next day you will do something else, and the client may be expecting something else. And what do you have to do? You have to clear out the things in the meeting itself. And if you
Yes.
are if you, in the beginning, if you are not comfortable in asking in the meeting, at least after the meeting, make a call and clarify the things. Okay, if you
Yeah.
ask to Robin, these days also I used to make him calls and clarify the things if I have some doubt. So that should be your habit. Otherwise, what will happen is like, we have some set of what to say perspectives in our mind. Okay, with that we will proceed, but that may not be true all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have to keep connected with people, and we have to understand more, and we have to clarify the things. So from
Yes.
one person's view, something is correct. From other person, something else may be correct. So we
Yeah.
have to ask questions. That then only we can able to what to say clarify the things, and we can open out the things in our mind to make some
Mhm.
decision. Otherwise, I don't think we will get that clarity without
Correct.
asking the questions. That not only in the this meeting or somewhere in the profession, but in personal life also. Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we have to open up. Then only we can break out the shell and come out.
Correct, correct. And what happens is people are actually, shy, they're not comfortable and all. But this is the place where you can bring out, you can overcome your, the shyness that you have, some people say that I get scared, you know. So
Mhm.
this is the place where you can throw out everything and you can get confidence by asking, because this is where we are giving an opportunity to become a professional, to give you we are trying our best to give you the professional environment so that you can overcome all the challenges that you have as a student that you had maybe, or as an individual, or in the past companies and all, because cybersecurity is completely a different profile. If you can't communicate, you can't survive in cybersecurity. You have to be, you need to have the power of communication, you need to be asking doubts and all. So Asha said a very very good point at the end, so thank you for that, Asha, to for letting people know and bringing this to their notice as to how important it is to ask questions. And we will not come to you, you have to come to us, right? You have to take the step, because even in the company also, your manager will not come to you, your client will not come to you asking, hey, have you understood? You will have to get it clarified, and if you don't clarify and you do the work, the result is something else, then you will get screwed back, right?
Mhm.
So for that reason, it's very important, to get this as an habit, and this is the place where you can do it. Any which ways, I think it was really a very good discussion, Asha. Thank you for your time that you have given, for sharing your thoughts, sharing your feeling. I hope that this will be helping a lot of people who are watching this. Will help them in boosting their confidence, will help them in understanding how they have to and what they have to do in terms of getting a job and a career. So thank you so much, Asha, for joining us here and giving your valuable time. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, thank you, Robin, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to discuss my experiences with the new batch of Cyber Sapiens.
Yes. Thank you, Asha. We hope we'll connect back again, maybe after a year or two, when you are in a different position to again
Yeah,
share
for
back your
sure.
experience.
Okay,
Right?
sure.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay
Asha.
then.
Thank you so much.
Okay
Take care.
then. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yeah.